graduated from Abrams in 2004. How many of you were born after 2004? Or a couple of you? After? None of you were born after? Okay. How many of you were born before 2001? So for those of you who were alive in 2001, you guys were all little babies, but in 2001, I was in 6th grade here. The morning of September 11th, I was in Hebrew class, and I got sad news that a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center, and that my brother had passed away. I wouldn't be able to stand here today if there wasn't for Mrs. Lamke, Mr. K, Rabbi Tesser, Rabbi Einsasser, Mrs. Harnstein, Rabbi Budow, and a lot of the teachers at this school. When the terrible thing happened to my family, Abrams was a place that I was able to go to find comfort and support. A lot of very, very special and important people lost their lives on that day. And one of them was my brother. On that day, beyond the fact that people who lost their lives in the World Trade Center, firefighters and police officers who were heroes risked their lives to save those people. It's really important that you remember that people like firefighters and teachers, they're here to be our heroes, to support us. It's really important that you remember that your classmates, that you're surrounded next to, that you respect them, that you're there for them. Because you don't know what someone went through in their lives. You don't know what kind of morning they had, or what kind of night they had before. And these are the people that when something bad hopefully never happened, but if they are, they're going to be the people that support you. My friends that I graduated from Abrams with are still my closest friends. I still spend plenty of time with them, and on mornings like today, I remember that they're there for me. Do any of you have any questions in regard to what September 11th was? Don't be afraid to ask, it's okay. Yeah.
Where exactly, so after your, how was it like after they announced you to send all the kids home? After?
So I actually was already at home when that happened, but it was a scary day. It really was. Hopefully none of you will ever have to experience something like that. But I was, like I said, I just got out of Hebrew class, and at the time we had a TV in the cafeteria, and the teachers were around, and they saw what happened, and I noticed what happened. And I went immediately to Mrs. Harnstein's office, and I said to her, I'm scared, please call my mom. And it was definitely a scary day, and I think that it didn't only affect me. I think it affected my classmates. I think it affected other students at the school, and it affected the teachers as well, because they didn't really know what to do, what to say, how to react.
Boys and girls, that day, we ended school early, and I remember parents coming to pick up their children here, and the parents were frightened. I mean, they were extremely concerned and frightened and bewildered about that day. It was a day where it was not a simple day for anybody. And we had to dismiss people right in the middle of the day because we didn't know what was going on. And we wanted people to go home, and everybody dismissed early that day. So for us at Abrams, it was not an easy day. Not an easy day here either.
Yeah.
What were your initial feelings like before you heard that you were pregnant?
Honestly, my initial feelings were kind of, I didn't get it. I thought, when I heard about it, I thought it was almost like a joke, because who would assume something so scary could actually happen? So I think my initial feelings were, before I was in shock, were kind of like confusion, because it doesn't really make sense right away to think that something so horrible could actually happen. Okay. So basically what happened was some very, very bad people decided that they were going to hijack a plane, and they wanted to almost instill fear in our country. They wanted to show our country that you should be scared. And what they did was there was a plane that flew into, do you know what the World Trade Center is? The two towers, and now they have the big memorial tower. So what happened was a plane first flew into one of the towers, and then a plane flew into the second tower. Both the towers collapsed. A plane flew into the Pentagon, which is a government building in Washington, D.C., and then a plane went down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Okay? How old was your brother? My brother was 23, and that is actually how old I am today. Any other questions, guys? Please don't be afraid to ask. It's okay.
Were you close with your brother?
I mean, as close as a brother and a sister could be. I mean, he was 12 years older than I was. So by the time I was 6 years old, he had already gone off to college. So we were close in the sense that he was my brother, and we spent holidays together. But I wouldn't say he was as close to me as some of you might be with your siblings who are closer in age. And for me, that's probably the saddest part, is that I didn't get the opportunity to get to know him the way that my other brothers, who are sitting behind you guys right now, they got to know him, because they were much closer in age to him. But throughout the years since he's passed, I've been able to learn about him. And now I feel close to him because I know him in a way that I wasn't able to know him when I was alive. Any other questions, guys? Do you have any questions for my brothers? Ask.
Did your family find any, it's a tough question, but did you find any parts of his body or belongings and stuff like that? Because I remember your mother being very, very concerned about that.
So basically what happened was, after the towers collapsed and kind of the mayhem calmed down a little bit, people came in to the area where the towers had collapsed, and they started cleaning up the debris. And when they cleaned up the debris, they found things like people's watches, people's IDs, people's wallets. They also found pieces of people's bodies. So thankfully, my family is one of the very, very few. We actually were able to have a proper Jewish burial, because they found about 65% of his body. They assumed that the rest of it probably burned because of the flames and everything. And they also, as much of a miracle as it is, they were able to find his ID card. And that ID card was what he used every morning to swipe to get into that building. So my family is very lucky. We have his body, and we also have his ID card. Yes? So if anyone didn't hear, she asked, what did I feel after my brother died? It's a very, very good question. I felt a lot of things. I felt scared. I felt a sense of hope, though, because, you learn in school that, you pray. You pray that good things happen. So after it happened, I remember every morning getting up and praying. Please, God, even if he's not alive, then he's safe. So I felt scared, but also I felt a sense of hope, because people like the teachers here, my classmates, they were so supportive. Yeah.
How did you cope?
How did I cope? By coming to school. When it happened, my parents were very, very sad. And as you would imagine, they lost a child. So for a very long time, they felt like to do. And me, I was 11 years old, I was a little girl. I was in the 6th grade, and the way that I was able to cope was by coming to school. I had amazing classmates, amazing teachers. If I felt sad, they made me happy. If I felt scared, they made me feel safe. So I was able to cope by coming to school, by being around my friends, by being around amazing teachers and amazing support team. Here, Adam.
How many times have you been back to the World Trade Center area, and do you have a sense of comfort and connection when you're there?
So actually, this year was the first time I'd ever been there. Last October I went, and I went with a friend of my brother's.
Your parents have been there a number of times.
No, my
Also
parents
not?
have never been to Ground Zero, to the World Trade Center Memorial. I'm pretty sure only one of my brothers have actually been there. Oh, all my brothers have been there. I was nervous before I went. You know, it was 11 years after my brother had passed, and I was scared a little bit. But it's a very peaceful place. And for one of the first times in my life, I kind of felt like everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right. I've learned to deal with what I've dealt with. I've learned to appreciate the finer things in life. Even the little things, like studying for tests and, you know, hanging out with my friends. I learned to appreciate them when I was in there, because it was almost like he was with me. He said to me, I want you to live a happy life. I want you to be successful. I want you to find love. I want you, you know, to do all the things in life that you want to do. So when I was there, I kind of felt the sense of peace within myself, because I knew that for the rest of my life, I would be able to go to this place and almost kind of be with him in a sense. Yes, so for those of you who don't know, right around the corner, there's a place called the Garden of Reflection. It is a memorial. It is the Pennsylvania State 9/11 Memorial. I'm sure if you asked your parents,